What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Forspoken being delayed. Now, this is pretty interesting, right? Because in my opinion, there's two different parts to the message that they had posted on their Twitter. On the main channel, we're talking about maybe a hint towards something else. On this channel, I simply want to talk about the delay itself and moving it obviously to January 24th. Now, I don't think that's a bad day at all. I think, and a big part of this video and a big part of obviously what I want to talk about is basically this strategic move. I actually feel really, I really respect them, I guess is what I want to say. I respect them, I would say, a lot more, knowing, I would say, as close to what you're going to get of a like admission, like here's why we're actually doing this. This is a really like different one than what we normally get. And so, you know, enough beating around the bush. They basically say it's because of the other games releasing. Now, they don't say that specifically, but their wording, as a result of ongoing discussions with key partners, so that's a big tell, we have made the strategic decision to move the launch date of Forspoken to January 24th, 2023. All game elements are now complete, and development is in the final polishing phase. So, you know, again, I honestly will give them a ton of respect for that, because it's like, here's what they just admitted. They're done. The game is done. It absolutely would have been ready to go by October, 11th, I think was it, or October 7th, maybe. Whenever the date was supposed to be, that they were ready. They were going to be able to put this game out. And, you know, they announced God of War. And, you know, I assume Square Enix had talks with Sony. And in my opinion, it's not just God of War, right? Let's be real. I mean, God of War is a month. It'd be like almost a full month after Forspoken comes out. I don't think that would hurt it too badly. You know, maybe you don't want it that close. Maybe you would prefer it to be, you know, 2+ months away. That's fine. But I really think God of War is part of it. Coming out a month after The Last of Us 1 remake, that's another part of it. Coming out in October, you know, A Plague Tale is coming out. Gotham Knights, Call of Duty, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Scorn. The list literally doesn't end, and that's very scary for me because I'm going to be playing literally all these games and covering them on the channels. I mean, these are the games that are coming out in October. So, you know, while I think the wording kind of indicates like, hey, Sony had announced God of War Ragnarok, and we're like, okay, we talked to them. We said, well, it would probably be best if we moved our game. I think God of War was a big part of it, but I don't think it was the only part. I think the rest of the games in October started to scare Forspoken. Now, here's what I will say. There's a plus and a minus to doing something like that, all right? Because what you basically do, I will give them respect, because by saying it, you are admitting, like, okay, look, we don't want to deal with these other games. Like, we feel like we're gonna kind of get buried, and we don't want that. We're gonna come out when it's not so packed. I highly respect that. However, when you say something like that, there is also the flip side. There's the negative side to it, because now what you've just admitted to is that maybe, well, you maybe haven't admitted to it, but you're hinting, or maybe you can kind of read into it, you know, whatever you want to say. You're saying, in a way, all right, our game, like, maybe it doesn't have the stuff to stick out. See, that's what I get worried about. I think I said that for, like, A Plague Tale. A Plague Tale Requiem is a full-price game. I don't think it screams full price to everybody on planet Earth, but I think that game could honestly get buried. I think A Plague Tale Requiem could be a buried game, because A Plague Tale Innocence, the last one, was kind of a game that, you know, not everybody played. It became much more popular when it was on a PlayStation Plus. It was a free game of the month. It went on Xbox Game Pass. And Plague Tale Requiem, the new one, is going to be on Game Pass day one. All right, it is going to be on Game Pass. So it has strengths, and I think those games are phenomenal. I think this new game is going to be phenomenal, and it's going to be, I think, carried by the story, the characters. And I guess what I'm saying is, I feel that game could very well be buried in October, but it's almost as if they don't care, and they're like, you know what, though? Our game, like, if it's good enough, it will shine through the other games. So again, there's respect there for admitting, like, hey, we don't want everybody focusing on 500 other games. We want people focused on our game. There's respect for that. But at the same time, you're also admitting, hey, our game may not be jumping out of the page good. Our game may not have what it takes to say, hey, this is a true, like, you know what I mean? Like, Marvel's Midnight Suns, that game may also get buried. But if it's like a really good game in the genre that it's trying to be, right? And if it really stands out, it can make a name for itself just in that alone. Now, by the way, these are just words. These are just me saying things, right? At the end of the day, that could be right. What I'm saying is true. A Plague Tale Requiem could definitely stand out, say, online, because of its strong characters and story, but it still may not sell well. You know what I mean? And ultimately, I can say it all I want, but if you're the publishers of any of these games, you may be looking and saying, well, hey, it doesn't matter how diverse or different a kind of game we have or how good of a game we have, even if it stands out, it's still not going to do the sales we want it to because there's 30 other games coming around. You know, like that's honestly what could very well be happening, right? So again, there is a lot of respect there where it's like Forspoken, they want eyes on it. I think they feel very confident that it would sell better at the end of January than it would sell in early October. And you know what? They're probably right. One thing I will say, though, is you just put it 3 days before the Dead Space remake. Now, again, those are two very different games. I think if you're going to get Forspoken, you know, I don't think Dead Space is going to stop you. And I think if you're going to get Dead Space, Forspoken isn't going to stop you. Those are two different enough games where they're not going to hurt each other. But the point is you're trying to leave a packed October and you move yourself 3 days before a pretty big game gets a remake, which could honestly be a really, really good remake. I mean, the Dead Space remake could be really good. So it's kind of funny that they put it there, not like early January or beginning of February, where we don't really know if any games are coming out. So we'll see how it goes. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on tomorrow's video.